Breaking news tonight, at least 14 children and one teacher killed in an elementary school shooting in Texas.
This school has children that are in second, third, and fourth grade.
We'll have the latest from the scene, plus what police are saying about the gunman.
Tonight, as we await a response from President Joe Biden, we are learning more about this active investigation and the victims who are still being treated.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin with that breaking news out of Texas right now, where 14 students and a teacher have been killed after an elementary school shooting. It happened late this morning in Uvalde. It's a small town about 80 miles west of San Antonio. Police say an 18-year-old gunman walked in and started shooting. KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan has been tracking the latest on this breaking news development. So, Mark, what do we know so far?
Good afternoon, Whitney. This is just a horrific situation. Yet another mass shooting in America. This one happened at an elementary school. We know it happened just before noon at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, just 2 days before school was set to be let out for summer vacation. That school, as you mentioned, is just west of San Antonio. According to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, the 18-year-old gunman, identified as Salvador Romas, walked into the school with a handgun and possibly a rifle and opened fire. Abbott said the gunman killed 14 students and a teacher. Officials say the building the gunman targeted included second, third, and fourth graders. We are still waiting to learn more about other students who were injured. We were initially told that 13 were being treated at the hospital. Two more people, a 66-year-old adult and a child, have been taken to a San Antonio hospital about 80 miles away. The governor said the shooter, that 18-year-old, is also dead. He gave more information about the shooter earlier today at a press conference.
It's believed that he abandoned his vehicle and entered into the Robb Elementary School in Uvalde with a handgun, and he may have also had a rifle, but that is not yet confirmed according to my most recent report. He shot and killed horrifically, incomprehensibly, 14 students and killed a teacher. He himself is deceased and is believed that responding officers killed him.
Witness video from the school shows a mass of confusion with students, parents, and teachers outside the school building. The process of reuniting parents and students is underway this afternoon. We have learned from our news partners in Texas that this was the last week of school for these students. Their last day of class was set to be Thursday. We are going to go now to a report from Vanessa Croy at our sister station. She is on the ground in Uvalde.
We're here in front of Robb Elementary School in Uvalde. Been out here for a few hours today and watched this scene unfold at this elementary school. Let me step out of the way and show you the scene right now, a few hours after so many law enforcement rush the school building. You can see toward the back of the school, it appears that's where more of the command center is. That's where the source of the investigation is focused right now. We have seen multiple law enforcement agencies out here today, including DPS, Border Patrol, local law enforcement. If you're not familiar with this community of Uvalde, a very small town, tight-knit community, as well as the surrounding counties of these border communities. And I can tell you that the sheriffs in the surrounding counties immediately sent EMS units. They sent officers to support the Uvalde City Police and the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office and whatever was unfolding inside that school building today. When I first arrived here today, people were lining the streets here, and I was watching law enforcement walk from the school, and you could see visibly from the faces we had not confirmed any deaths yet, and we had not confirmed that so many kids had been injured inside, and I could see from their faces the tragedy that happened inside that building today. Reporting in Uvalde, I'm Vanessa Croy.
We are still getting new video into our newsroom and new reaction from people impacted by this horrific shooting in Uvalde.
Yeah, so here's what one woman told a reporter there after she says her grandson was shot.
Son is in 5th grade, and he was shot in the leg. It went through the front, came out the bottom on his upper part. He has just been released, thank you God. It didn't go through any bone, it didn't do any damage, hopefully no nerve damage and stuff, but he was just released, and we thank God for that. You know, what's going on? And she's like, he's been shot. And I was like, what? And I took off. I didn't even know where I was driving to. I was like in a fog, I mean, he's the baby. So, but no, he's home. He's gonna go home and rest now. I don't know if we can ever be ready for something like this, though. Yeah. He took the life of a teacher, and all these families are at a loss for everything that's happened. This is a small town, a small community. I know it's going to bring us tighter and closer together. I pray for everybody.
Hard to even listen to, really. The Texas Senator Ted Cruz there has been briefed also on the shooting there and had this reaction today.
It is truly horrific. There is nothing more evil than violent criminals who target children, and especially young children. And at this point, we're incredibly grateful for law enforcement, for the heroes and first responders who arrived on the scene. But at the same time, the entire state of Texas, the entire country are grieving horrifically at yet another unspeakable crime.
Now in Connecticut today, very emotional reaction also after Democratic Senator Chris Murphy found out about that shooting.
He is urging fellow senators to work together on some kind of gun control legislation.
14 kids dead in an elementary school in Texas right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just days after a shooter walked into a grocery store to gun down African American patrons, we have another Sandy Hook on our hands. What are we doing? There have been more mass shootings than days in the year. Our kids are living in fear every single time they set foot in a classroom because they think they're going to be next.
Local politicians also responding online to the shooting today. Representative Catherine Morris Rogers, who represents the 5th District here in Eastern Washington, sent a series of tweets, with one saying that her heart is with the families and the entire community. She also went on to say that schools must be a safe place for learning and for children to reach their full potential.
Washington Senator Patty Murray also responding to the horrific shooting. In a statement, she said children gunned down in their classrooms, lives cut short, and families shattered. How many more lives have to be lost, and how much more heartbreak must we suffer before my Republican colleagues wake up to what the majority of Americans have known for years? Gun safety laws, she says, save lives. And the nation is in mourning after this tragedy today. President Biden has ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff in remembrance of those killed in that shooting.
We have learned that President Biden is planning to deliver remarks on the deadly school shooting in just over an hour from now at around 5:15 tonight. We will be sure to bring that to you as it happens live. In the meantime, we are continuing to track this horrific breaking news out of Texas. We'll have the latest updates throughout the evening right here, as well as KREM.com.
And still to come here on KREM 2 News at 4, other local news, the Spokane County Medical Examiner taking a closer look at 6 older cases. One of those, the cause of death has already been changed to homicide.